Welcome back to another episode of Something Different, the 11th installment, and this time we have a special guest in George. Both of us will be giving our most underrated Premier League 11, those that perform week in week out consistently but don't necessarily get the recognition that they deserve. As always, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you are new, but let's get into it. Here's Something Different. So, first of all, you have the goalkeeper position, arguably the most important out of the 11. I think the first name that came to my mind anyway was Jose Sarr for Wolves, but as weeks have gone on, I think more and more people have acknowledged how good he is and how clinical he is to the Wolves defence, the fourth best in the league this season in terms of goals conceded. So instead of him, I have gone for Brighton's Robert Sanchez. Selected for his national team, he has impressed this season for the Seagulls and has drawn interests from many other clubs too. Keep an eye on him in the future. The centre-back position was probably the one with the most options, but I think the two I picked are well justified. The first, Wesley Fofana, who has been injured for most of this season, but as soon as he has gotten back, he just brought an air of calmness. For someone so young, he has real quality. Probably someone I would want at Manchester United. That's the reason they extended his contract after just 1 year. The Leicester centre-back is a star, and I think he will get a move soon to a much bigger club where he will flourish. The next centre-back for me is actually Joel Matip, underappreciated at times, and if you ask most Liverpool fans who has been better this season, I'd say quite a few would go towards Matip instead of Van Dijk. You can ask George, he's a Liverpool fan. As a partner to Virgil van Dijk this season, he has been superb, and you'd say the free signing of him has to be up there with one of the best free transfers. Over to you, George.
Hello mates, I hope you're well. I look forward to giving you my underrated 11. Let's get into it. In goal, I've got to agree with you with Robert Sanchez. I think, to get the call up to Spain, he's an integral part of the way they play at the back now, and I think he's class. I've got to agree with you there. Centre-halves, I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm going to go Joel Matip. To be crowned as one of the best centre-backs I've ever seen, I think is some doing. I think he's the third best centre-back in the Premier League behind Diaz and Van Dijk. And certainly next to Van Dijk as well. Van Dijk takes all the plaudits, and Matip is so underrated. The way he carries the ball forward, he's a key to Liverpool's progressions now. And likewise, in terms of progressions, I like a centre back who's gonna command and who's gonna create stuff. I'm gonna go Anderson from Crystal Palace. I think likewise with Van Dijk, where he's taken all the spotlight, and I believe Anderson's distribution is second to none. So he'll be a crucial part of Denmark's World Cup reign as well for me.
Two in agreement so far, which is pretty good, but I'll quickly head onto the fullbacks, a position which has moulded and changed in the current era of football. For my left back, another Brighton player in Marc Cucurella, astute in defence and attack, as well as being enjoyable to watch. The Spanish player has locked down many right-sided attackers this season. His first season in the Premier League, although it does not seem like it. On the right, I have someone that is of superb quality, but might have been forgotten about slightly. The free kick artist himself, Kieran Trippier, is who I have gone with. His injury has not helped, but when he signed for Newcastle, his impact was immediate, and although Bruno Guimaraes was meant to be the star signing, it seems as if Trippier has outshone him so far. How about yours, George?
Fullbacks will start on the left. I'm going to go with Tyreek Mitchell, another Crystal Palace player. I've watched Palace a lot this season. I enjoy watching him. I just think he's a complete fullback. He's got the defensive ability of Wan-Bissaka when he was at Crystal Palace. And I was scared he was going to become another Wan-Bissaka, another 50 million flop at a Big Six team. But I don't think that's the case of Tyreek. I think he's got the distribution to match it as well. And on the right side, I'm going to go Livramento. Again, another solid all-round English fullback, most importantly as well, and I believe these two will be in the England squad come the next Euros and World Cup.
My midfield now. I have a midfield three of class players who deserve much more respect. In that deeper spot, I have John McGinn, one of my favourite players in the Premier League. He brings so much going forward as well as defensively, and like Trippier, he has probably been forgotten about slightly this season. He is that anchor for Villa's midfield, and without him, they would probably struggle. I would take him in a heartbeat at Man United, but then again, most of the Premier League has a better midfield than us. My next midfielder is Chelsea's Mateo Kovacic, one of the best dribblers in the game right now, and only seems to get recognised when he scores the odd goal or two, and then gets forgotten about. He hardly loses the ball when in possession and really revitalised his career at Chelsea, even though time at Real Madrid was full of trophies anyway. The final midfielder to complete my three. It was a difficult one. You had players like Odegaard, Maddison or even Mason Mount, who at times disrespected, but I've gone for another central midfielder in Fred. Possibly a bit of bias in there, but his season started after Rangnick came in. His true Brazilian side has come out, and while he is slightly inconsistent when on his game, Fred is a beast in the midfield. With Pogba leaving United, we'll most likely be relying on him next season.
Onto midfield, I like those picks, mate. I think they're class, especially Kovacic. I'm going to go with James Ward-Prowse now. The elephant in the room is his set-piece asset, okay? He's one of the best dead ball deliverers I've ever seen, probably in my lifetime as well. But it's more what he does on the pitch, during the game, in progression. Him and Romeu locked down that midfield in a team, a very inconsistent Southampton team, who struggle to find the net, and he contributes to half the goals, I'm pretty sure. So he's going in there, along with the young lad Jacob Ramsey. He's been class. I don't think he's missed a game with Gerrard. Gerrard's pretty much playing him as a young Stevie G, so it must be really good being Ramsey, having one of the best English centre mids of all time coaching you, and you can really see that start showing off on young Jacob Ramsey. And then I'm going to go with Martin Odegaard, a player who's really shining under Arteta at the moment. And again, like I was speaking about Matip and Van Dijk taking all the plaudits from him, I feel like Saka and Martinelli are stealing the show a bit, but Odegaard's the glue that keeps them together.
Now for my front three, the ones that will be putting the goals in the back of the net. A tricky selection here, but I think my choices are the best I could have chosen. On the right, I have Crystal Palace's Michael Olise, another player on his debut Premier League season, but he has fitted in nicely, and with an overachieving Crystal Palace side, he has been doing wonders. 7 goal contributions in just under 1,000 minutes may seem underwhelming, but his quality is evident, and you'd have to say he will get a move in a season or two with him just on the up. On the left, I have Burnley's Maxwell Cornet, essentially their driving force for the first half of the season. Prior to AFCON, he was consistently scoring from the wing or even up front at times, and if Burnley stay up, his efforts were definitely a reason why, although I can't see why and how they could now that Sean Dyche is sacked. Cornet's form may have dropped off a little, but with the arrival of Weghorst, it probably is not needed as much. He can share the pressure now. For my final choice up front, a man who has been injured for a lot of this season, but I think is incredible, Patrick Bamford. The reason for Leeds' disastrous form this season has been true to him being injured, and probably Calvin Phillips, but I honestly think he is the whole package. He can dribble, hold up play, head the ball and link up play, and I genuinely believe he is England's second best striker after Harry Kane. Potentially Tammy Abraham, but apart from that, nobody else comes close. 17 goals and 7 assists last season in the Premier League says it all, and the fact that he's been injured this season has damaged his chances for the World Cup significantly, which is not ideal for him. But if he can come back next season or even at the end of this season and continue his fantastic form from last season, I do not see why he won't be selected. Anyway, how about your front three?
Nice front three that, mate. I'm going to agree with Olise. I think Olise reminds me of young Sterling at Liverpool. Bags of potential. He's going to get a big money move, I'm pretty sure of it anyway, and hopefully he gets that France start which he deserves. Striker, I'm going to go with Diogo Jota. Liverpool fan again. This guy needs much more credit to his name. The amount of goals he scores with his head as well. He's 5'10". Yeah, he's quality. He's been one of the best signings in my lifetime for Liverpool. He's quality. I love the guy, especially when Firmino's not performing as well. And then I've got Martinelli, okay? Now, I think he's been the best player who's come to Anfield this season for me. Martinelli, I think he's quality. The way he targets defenders, especially Trent, just runs at them. He plays with so much confidence. And yeah, that's my front three.
That front three are ones to watch for the future, and I can see all three making a mark in the World Cup. 2. Olise, if he gets picked, Jota for Portugal, as almost Portugal's Ronaldo here, despite the big boots to fill it. And Martinelli, even at the World Cup. Jota has so much attacking talent with him. He has Ronaldo coaching him, Bernardo Silva, so many players at Liverpool. You'd have to say he's going to progress beautifully over the next 2 seasons. You have Martinelli, who will be alongside talents like Neymar, Vinicius Jr., Firmino and others, and you can really see him progressing, possibly being a part of another golden generation at Brazil. Those are our Premier League underrated 11s, but let us know who you think would win if they went head to head. Don't forget to check out George's TikTok and socials and like this video too. Give us your team in the comments section down below, but until next time, goodbye.